Welcome today at this AMA with Standard Protocol. We're gonna do the Ask Me Anything. So we're gonna ask you guys anything, all right? First little introduction. Standard Protocol is seeing algorithmic problems with stablecoins, and they have created a solution for this. And the solution is called Collateralized Rebasable Stablecoins. But you know, what are that, and how do they work, and how does it take form? So with me we have Daniel, and we have also Jason, and Daniel will doing the most part of the AMA. Daniel, welcome first, and are you ready to rocking this AMA today?
Yeah, thanks guys for having me here, and excited to start.
So okay, let's start. And then the second part of introduction, next to me also Hien, one of the co-founders of DCI, known as Dutch Crypto Investors. My name is Wesley Kelder. I'm your host for the day, also part of the team of DCI. And first, before we go into the questions, we all always wanted to know, who are we speaking with? And I think our community and the people who are listening and tuning in wanted to know who is Daniel. So we're gonna start up with that. After that, we go to phase one of the questions. Phase one of the questions are the questions that the DCI team, the Dutch Crypto Investors team, has collected together. And the third and the last phase are 3 to up to 5 questions of our community, right? And everybody who is sent, as the most people know, we have a big community, but also a very active community. So we got a lot of questions sending in. We collected, I think for this one, three up to 5.
Yes.
And we pronounced 3 winners.
Oh yeah, exactly.
3 winners. We pronounced 3 winners for the question, and they win a couple of $100. You will get to know that if I will pronounce the name of the question, and you will get to know that from one of our colleagues. So I think that is settled. And first but not foremost, Daniel. Who is Daniel? And give us a little introduction about yourself and what you're doing and the team behind Standard Protocol, please.
Sure. So, just a little bit about myself. My background is a little bit more in economics and a little bit more finance. But for me, I think blockchain is, has the potential to change how a lot of our fields, not just finance, not just econ, but just a lot of things. So that's where kind of my interest began. And, I'm lucky to be on this team and be working with a lot of great people. I mean, we have Jaewon right here, who's also been pretty experienced in his kind of years, mainly in the Chinese side. But, our lead developer is Hyungsung Kang, and he is the software developer at Plasm, and he's actually also the ambassador for Polkadot in East Asia. So that's quite an impressive feat. And we also have some other developers who are very experienced and advisors from China, from Korea, from Russia, so really all over the world. And I think what makes us a really strong team is not just the experience, but also the kind of depth and global kind of side and global kind of thinking, because we're not just in one place, but we're all over the world, and we have a lot of different things to offer. So I think quite honestly, the team is quite a strength, and we're pretty proud of that.
It's like a decentralized team, decentralized working team, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And how did you guys cope with that, with the time zone, different time zones and meetings, and it has
yeah. Exactly. I mean, you guys are in the Netherlands right now, I believe, and we're in Korea. So but that's the reality of blockchain, right? Like of crypto. It's around the world. It's not just in New York or Paris or anywhere else. It's all over.
100%. So I hope you guys, I think it's late in the evening at you guys. So I hope you don't are too tired right now.
No, not at all.
Okay, great. And so thanks for the little introduction. And we were going to start with phase one of the questions. That are the questions that the team of DCI has put it together. First is one, it's the question of the questions when you're starting a company, right? It's like there is a problem, and you guys have a solution for that problem. And the problem is about the stable coins. Can you tell us a little bit more deeper than a small introduction about the problem that Standard Protocol is solving with the current stable coins?
Yeah, be happy to. So, our bread and butter is a stable coin, and if we look at the existing space right now, we have really three main types. We have the fiat collateralized, we have the crypto collateralized, and we have the algorithmic. And while each one has their benefits, we see that there are quite big flaws with each one. So for fiat, the biggest thing is that it's very centralized. It's basically working with another bank. And if it's kind of counterintuitive if the whole point of blockchain is kind of being decentralized or with crypto. So we think that's a major risk. Second, with crypto collateralized, although it's more decentralized than fiat collateralized stablecoins, we see issues with the way that the auctions are run or the way that the oracles get prices for some of their collateralized assets. So that's another issue for crypto collateralized stablecoins. And then thirdly, we have algorithmic stablecoins, which I think most obviously it's just really unstable. And that's quite a big issue if we're looking for a stable coin. So what standard protocol tries to do, or what we're going to do is we're really going to try to take the benefits of each stablecoin while addressing all the weaknesses. And I'm happy to discuss that with the later questions, but that's just a brief intro as to like what the problems we solve and what we're about.
Yeah, so the price instability is, I think, one of the main sources behind the solution of standard protocol, right? Am I right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but for instance, maybe you can tell a little bit more specific about that. For instance, when we have the USDT, right? Sometimes you see the USDTs drop a little bit below and sometimes a little bit above, but in the end, it comes back on the standard level, like the one US dollar, right? So what is can you explain a little bit more what the benefit is from a better stable coin, because it always go back, and for which people? Is it only for the whales, or the all-day people have some benefits with a standard protocol stable coin then?
Yeah, sure. So with fiat collateralized stablecoins, we acknowledge that they're going to be more stable because it's essentially an IOU. Like you're putting $1 in, they're holding $1 for you, and they issue $1 out. So there's really nothing really big going on with that kind of money that you're depositing. But we see, although it's more stable, and we acknowledge that, we see that you're limited because you can't really do anything with that money, right? Because with something like crypto collateralized stablecoins, you can actually earn some additional profit off of the money that you started with. Right. And yes, so I think although when we say we're looking for more price stability, I think we're going for that in terms of the traditional kind of algorithmic stablecoin. So I think we're a lot more stable than some other algorithmic stablecoins out there because we're not completely. In fact, we don't even like really using the term algorithmic. We use more rebasable. So we're not really completely determined by code, but we have some assets that are being collateralized as well. So it's kind of a hybrid of both, essentially a hybrid of both crypto collateralized and algorithmic. So yes, we're going to be much more stable than the algorithmic, but we acknowledge that we can't be as stable as some of the fiat collateralized stablecoins.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's much clearer. Yeah. And could you also explain a little bit more about the oracles and what benefits it has that the oracles are more decentralized, like standard protocol is using right now?
Yeah. Yep. So in general, oracles are necessary because they bring outside information to our chain, outside information such as the price of our stablecoin or the price of other coins out there. And with some current protocols like the MakerDAO, where a lot of these oracles are selected by the governance token holders, but sometimes they're actually quite centralized among the founding team. It can create a lot of opportunities for the price to be faulty, for the price to be manipulated. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the oracles decentralized. We have less opportunities for manipulation and for more kind of transparency. And number two, also give them rewards, give them good incentives to give us prices. So if they give us good prices, the correct prices, they'll get rewarded, or if they give us wrong prices, they might be penalized. And we think this will create a good system for us to make sure we get the right prices and that the correct information, and that ultimately there is less kind of manipulation going on.
Yeah. Okay. Clear. And which competitors do you see right in front of you? or do you or do you guys see it as you have a completely new thing because it's kind of a hybrid, so you can look at competitors on both sides, for instance, or how do you see you guys then?
Yeah, we see ourselves as being very new. We see ourselves as kind of taking the best parts of everything, and we're trying to actually kind of work with be partners. We're not necessarily trying to say that we're going to be better than someone like Chainlink, but we actually want to create partnerships and further improve our products. So, I think that's that's something that we emphasize on. Focusing on the product and not really kind of seeing us as competitors and necessarily trying to. We're trying to really just focus on us for now.
I love that answer. Then I love that answer because competition is not always always
better to work together.
Work together. Great, thanks. You wanted to ask something about the 3 tokens, right?
Yes, I have read the white paper, and Standard Protocol is the main token, but there will be also 2 different tokens. Can you tell me more about it?
Meter, leader, and the standard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yep. So Meter is the stable coin itself, and that's the one that's going to be pegged about a 1-to-1 US dollar ratio, and that's the one where you get after depositing some kind of digital asset. So it's similar to what you can think of DAI, and then Leader is the liquidity token that's rewards people for providing liquidity to our automated market maker. So how we're really different is that instead of typically with some crypto collateralized stablecoins, when the collateral is liquidated, they get put into an auction, and these auctions are pretty inefficient, and we can talk about that later. They're inefficient and they're unfair to a lot of people. For us, our liquidated collateral goes into AMM, the automated market maker, and a decentralized exchange where they can be bought freely by anyone. So in order for that to work, we need a liquidity provider token, which is Leader. It's kind of similar to Uniswap LP token.
Yes.
And then thirdly is Standard, which is the governance token. And that's what's being used as kind of to make important decisions, such as, they can change the collateralization ratio. They make some, they get rewarded with some fees on with interest. So we see these 3 as being a really strong ecosystem and kind of necessary to support one another.
Okay, does it mean that that those 3 tokens also will be on, for example, Uniswap or other dexes, or only Standard Protocol?
I mean, for now, we're just focused on Standard right now, and I think we're going to have to kind of discuss with the team. But yeah, so Standard, as you know, we have our IDO on April 29th.
Yes,
and yep. So that's what we're kind of aiming at right now, focusing on right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you have some secret information that you want to share the first time too for our community or something, or
I think we'll have to discuss with the team on that.
Okay, we understand.
I'm gonna tease a little bit during this AMA, okay?
Of course.
Okay, right. And you said about earning, so staking, farming at Standard Protocol, that are also possibilities, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can stake with Leader. And again, Leader is this is essentially just getting rewarded for providing liquidity to the AMM. But beyond that is of course like the most obvious way of kind of making a profit is with Meter, where you're able to kind of generate some kind of basically it's kind of like a loan based off your deposited assets. So if you think, for example, you're really bullish on, I'm sure you guys know how this works, but if you're really bullish on something like Bitcoin, then you can deposit some of your your Polkadot and get some extra money and use that to double down on your Bitcoin holdings. But also another big way of kind of earning is through arbitrage participation through our AMM. So these liquidated collateral that goes to the decentralized exchange, those can be bought by anyone, and they can be used to make a profit.
Okay, and but the one second, the arbitrage, can you explain a little bit more?
Sure. So basically, whenever someone's collateral gets liquidated, because in order for someone to generate Meter, which is a stablecoin, they have to put some kind of collateral down, right? This is kind of similar to how MakerDAO or the DAI stablecoin works. So in order to generate Meter, they have to first put down some collateral, and if the price of either the stablecoin, if the price of the collateral, for example, goes too low to the point that it reaches a liquidation point, then this collateral gets liquidated automatically, and it goes straight to essentially the AMM, through AMM to the decentralized exchange where people can buy them. And just like how a bank, when a bank kind of takes, because if you don't pay your mortgage and the bank takes away your home, and the bank is going to sell it for a really cheap price, it's really similar to what we're doing here, where we're going to be, because these collateral was liquidated, we're going to be able to sell at a better price than what the market currently does.
Great explanation. Thanks. And okay, and about the project in his whole, right? Where are you guys standing right now? What are the most recent achievements and maybe some
challenges?
Yeah, so some stunning challenges you still have to overcome. Where are you standing, looking at a whole view into the project?
Yeah, so I'm not really more on the technical side. I think this is something our founder Kang would love, this kind of question, but we're in the process of testing and kind of having our initial launch on Kusama right now, which hopefully should be done sometime soon, but and it will be. And so that's the status in terms of how the project's going. But besides that, I think we have a lot of partnerships going on with other projects, and that's really exciting too, because we know that because we're something kind of new, and other projects I think kind of recognize that they're excited to work with us, and we're excited to work with them. So in general, we're going to be testing out and doing a lot of partnerships.
Okay, great.
This is the second time I hear I hear you say partnership. So
so I think coming weeks a lot of announcements. I think right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
And something about is there also something planned with token burns or buybacks or anything like that?
At the moment, there's nothing planned, I don't think, but of course, that might be changing in the future. So at the moment, I don't think we have something at the moment. No.
Okay, but still, it's still an open space, right?
Of course, yeah.
The last question on the sheet here is, teaser number 2. Are there some information or some speculation about listing on kind of exchanges with the tokens, or can you give us a little bit something about that?
I'm not really sure how much I can kind of disclose on this, but I can say that we have our IDO on the 29th. That's what I'm going to emphasize.
Exactly.
That you can kind of expect a lot of exciting events to unfold with pretty soon. So we're pretty excited for the next couple of weeks.
Pretty soon, next couple of weeks. So let's say up to 1 and 3-4 weeks, right?
Yes, I think
I don't know about sometime soon we're excited.
Okay, we keep in touch, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks. I think this was we've settled this question for a nice structure within this AMA, and now we're gonna hop into the community questions. I'm gonna read them off of my screen because some of the community questions are pretty long.
And yeah, we will announce the 3 winners.
Yeah, later on we're gonna announce the 3 winners from these 5 questions, 3 up to 5 questions. Yes. First, I will say the name, and that's just the community name. Yes. So question number 1, Daniel. Question number 1 is from the known one Jack. Yes. So props to the known one Jack. Users often care less about technology, but rather the value of the token. How do STND manage to strike the balance between developing the technology but also improving the value of the token?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think a lot of other projects they kind of struggle with this, where it's technology and the value. But for us, I think we're really unique in that they're kind of the same to us. The value of our token, making sure we have a really good stable coin, is dependent on our technology. So we see them as kind of the same thing in that, it's everything kind of works together, where if we have a better stable coin, then we have better leader, we have better liquidity providers, and we have better governance. And in order for us to reach that, we're really focused on technology. So my answer, to be honest with that, is that we see them as the same thing. We don't necessarily kind of see like as a balance between, but we see them as just the same thing. Yeah.
So as I understand, then it's like when you guys focusing on the tech side, then the ability and the utility will rise simultaneously, right?
We really hope to invest in a tech and make it better, and that will make a better token.
Nice.
Okay,
Thanks.
see.
Then question number 2 from Alpha Real. Congratulations, Alpha Real. Here it comes. Many algorithm stablecoins fail in keeping their stablecoin at $1. What makes you believe that standard protocol is better and would maintain the stablecoin?
Yeah, it's another big one.
Yeah,
so
another really big one.
Tough questions.
Earlier we mentioned the 3 main types of stablecoins that are out there, and the way we think we offer the best of both worlds is that we're both crypto collateralized in that we have assets, we're backed by some kind of asset, some kind of digital asset, but at the same time we have the flexibility to rebase if need be. So because we're not just one, but we're a hybrid of both, that will really help us keep the price stable. And yeah, so we kind of see ourselves as being the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you already said that in the beginning. So I think that that's a little that's so much different than what we used to see right now.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm very curious. Thanks for your answer.
Yes.
Question number 3 from, I don't know if I pronounce it good. It's Free You, right? Free You. Free You, your question. There have been multiple experiments with rebased tokens. A lot of them have failed. What makes you confident that your project will be successful? It's a little bit similar, but another flow.
Sure. I'm happy to add more color. So, the first point I think we already discussed about us being actually backed by some asset. I think the second thing is that typically with these algorithmic stablecoins that are out there, once they get to a point where they're so outside of their target peg, they become really volatile, and then it becomes really risky for the price to become even worse or worse off. So for us, we have this planned measure of emergency shutdown, where at some point where our price is for some reason outside the target peg at an extreme degree, our system shuts down automatically, and we'll use our code, we'll use our algorithm, or we'll use our code to rebase the supply for the next era, for the next period. And then what's really different is that instead of rebasing total supply, we only rebase for the next circulating supply. So something like ample fork, you might see that today, let's say you had 1 ample, today you might have 10, but tomorrow you might have 15, or tomorrow you might have 5, and there's kind of uncertainty there. I think people really don't like that uncertainty, even though the price, hypothetically, the value stays the same. For us, this doesn't. If you have a meter today, even after rebase, let's say tomorrow, the amount of meters you have will not change, because we rebase for the next circulating supply, not the total supply.
Thank you. Question number 4, and again, I don't know if I pronounce it good. It's Kwak Chuan DKH. Okay, thank you for your question. I find the idea of setting a price of stablecoins through Oracle to be a great idea. So props for that idea, I guess. Can you tell more clearly what this value determination through Oracle would be like? Will Oracle be fast enough to handle it, for instance?
Yeah, so I mean, in general, the Oracle is just one of the tools that we use to kind of make a better stablecoin, a better Oracle, better stablecoin. And for us, I think, we have what's distinguished about Oracles, again, them being decentralized and being properly incentivized. But in addition to that, I think what we're going to focus on is partnering with, hopefully partnering with better Oracle providers. So we're not just seeing ourselves as being the only solution, but we see ourselves as really wanting to work with other people and make our product better. So, I think the question was, what would the value be like, or something?
Yeah, and also, would it be fast enough to handle it?
So, of course, I want to say like absolutely 100%, but I think, my honest answer would be in design and theory, absolutely. But we're going to make sure that in reality it occurs by not only working on our side, on our tech, but also working with some other Oracle providers. So hopefully you'll you'll see that it does successfully work and it's fast enough and it's great in the coming weeks.
So this is the third time I only hear partnerships, and
So,
partnerships.
they
Right?
all have many partnerships, I think.
Thanks, Daniel. Question number 5 from Amazing Kid. It is a bit harder to understand the concept of rebased tokens initially, especially for people who are new to the crypto and algo stables. Do you think the complexity of the project limits the growth? And what are the plans to limit this barrier? It's a very deep question.
Yeah. You know, I want to tell you, at Amazing Kid, you know, that's, I get you. I'm with you. I understand it's really hard to understand you know, the spaces.
Yeah.
You know, but I think we're trying to really make this accessible for everyone. So we see that a lot of these, for example, you know, MakerDAO, and that's an example I use often with DAI, like a lot of these systems where like, if you're trying to participate in an auction, like what do you do? It's really complicated, and there's a lot of barriers to entry, and a lot of normal kind of regular people don't really know exactly what to do. So for us, we're really trying to make our product accessible, easy to understand, fair for everyone, whether you know you have $1 million in your holdings or you have $10 in your holdings. So we think that's how we can kind of make our project a little bit more accessible and hopefully less complicated. And of course, if you follow our, you know, our media, our social media, our series, our posts, we're going to try our best to make sure that we're very transparent and that we can explain this in a way that everyone understands, because we want people to understand our product and we want people to kind of see the new things that we're doing, hopefully value this new technology.
I think Amazing Kid will have enough for that, I guess. These were the 5 questions of the community. We want to thank the community for sending in a lot of many questions. So we have to filter only a couple of from that. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, I have maybe one more questions about the chains, because as you said that you will be also on the Kusama chains. Is there any reason that you not consider other chains? Is it focus on Polkadot and Kusama?
Yeah, so I mean, we're really part of the Polkadot ecosystem, and given that that's something that you know, Kusama is kind of being like the front door to the Polkadot ecosystem. That's why we're looking at that mainly. But you know, if you talk with our development team and our tech side team, I'm sure that they probably have some other ideas that they're floating around that I just don't know about. But they're definitely considering all the options, and I'm sure some other chains might be option. But for now, I think Kusama is what the initial launch is going to be.
Okay. So that will be the focus, but maybe in the future, cross-chain connection, right?
Multi-chain, yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear, because it's more getting more and more hyped up, right? The exactly. Multiple chain. Okay. I think we were through. If you don't have any.
No, I think I'm done with the questions that I
have. Daniel, do you want to add something else in addition?
In 2 days?
Well,
3 days.
I mean, you know, I feel like you guys asked a lot of great questions. There's not that much I can really. I don't want to be repetitive, but you know, I think we're excited, and we can just. You know, we're excited for this new technology and being a hybrid of what's best out there. So we hope that, you know, things go well, and you know, we're very happy that you guys asked these questions.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you. So I will summarize it. We will summarize it like it's a hybrid that's stable with a lot of partnerships. All right.
So yep, hybrid, you know, stable partnerships, you know, best of crypto, collateralized, best of
so let's wrap it up with that.
Kind of yeah.
We can wait at 29, right? IDO.
Yep, our IDO is the 29th, and it's on PokerStarter, so we're excited for that too.
Yes, good luck with the launch, and we are looking forward to it.
Yes, and thank you for your time also. And we're gonna push this video through our community and on our social media. So I hope for everybody that is really a little bit more clear with the answers Daniel gave us. And if you have any questions in additional, you can put them in the comments below on the YouTube channel. So let us know. And then we are connected, Daniel, with the team. So we will let you guys know if there are any more deep questions.
Exactly.
Yes?
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your time and good luck.
Good luck. And we will keep in touch, Daniel.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Have nice days.